once it comes in, I think I have enough space for this.
So,
Once it comes to these,
if I could have everyone's attention, por favor. Thank you so much. Okay. Hey, Ari. We're going to get started. Thanks. Okay, so you guys remember doing that typography styles lesson? It's been a few weeks because I was saving it for this. Okay, where we had like all of the different words, and I asked you to change each word to a font style that made sense with respect to the meaning of the word. Okay, so that ties in with branding, and so we're gonna go back and look at that, reflect on how those turned out, and then take it a little bit of a step further with making specific stylistic choices about color and type. Like, what does that convey to the audience without even using words? You know, those choices and those decisions, okay? Because they communicate things in addition to the message. You with me? Okay, this is going to be a partner activity, okay? So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to meet over so that we can look at the whiteboard where we have everything up. But first you're going to want to find your partner so you can kind of sit in proximity to them in order to share ideas. So Evie and Liera are partners, okay? Delaney and Tyler are partners. Ari and Gavin are partners. Sean and Dylan are partners. Dylan, feel free to like wheel a chair next to since Sean is also filming. That might work better. Lou and Kara. Because we have an odd number, we have a partnership of 3. Bobby, Declan, and Jenna. Thomas and Tavion. And Audra and Joey. Okay, so I need everybody over where you can see the whiteboard. You need to be in proximity. No, we are not like doing one of those weird sitting on the outskirts things. You got to be close enough to see the word and the style in which it is typed. That you see are feedback from the juniors. So what I asked the juniors to do is go through with their partner and identify which word really, like they felt, best fit the style of type that was chosen for it. Okay, so where you see like here on this athletic, okay, somebody thought, or one partnership thought, yes, this type style definitely fits.
Please excuse this interruption. This message is for our green high school students. Mr. Bridethal has asked that we remind you to please check your green high school email. Thank you.
Okay, let's because I know if I were you guys and I was in the middle of being asked to do something else, so let's just remember that for later. Okay, so you can see obviously different partners had different feelings. Okay, what I want to ask you guys is something a little bit different. Some of the words up here definitely posed more of a challenge for folks. Like the word itself could be interpreted multiple ways from like a style point of view. Does that make sense? Okay, so I want you and your partner to kind of look at the evidence, because it's pretty obvious too, like that there's a wide range of type choices that were selected, okay, for some of the words. Okay, which 2 words do you think were interpreted like the most differently. Does that make sense what I'm saying? Okay, or pose the biggest challenge for what that word meant in terms of the type style. All right? So you and your partner have to discuss. Maybe you think it's like elementary or tech, okay, or gritty or modern. All right? I'm going to give you like 5 minutes, 11:55. All right? Unless we get done sooner. Okay, so you and your partner chat. Get up closer if you need to get up closer. Pick the 2 words that you think were the most challenging because their style could be interpreted too many different ways. So Tavion, you and Thomas need to work together on this. You need to have a discussion together, okay? And you might want to come up, like if you wheel up here in the corner. So, yeah, like come up here from there we go. Yeah, that's perfect. Do you guys understand what I'm asking? Yeah. So like some of the words, like it looks like every single person had a different interpretation of it. You know, whereas others like Western, I don't think anybody's going to say Western because almost every Western definitely, while they're not all the same, they all have that like Old West, like kind of cowboy style lettering, right? Like a wanted poster, something like that, you know. But some of the other ones are super different. You guys understand what I'm asking you to do?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I'm not necessarily sure. Fancy? I feel like fancy is
Well, look at the evidence. You have to look at the evidence up there, too. You know?
Some of the fancies are not that fancy.
Well, right now it's just like that. So,
I'm not the fancy these people are good.
Well, okay. Maybe I did.
Like I'm starting to look at it, I'm like,
yeah, it is funny how that.
Real
Did you pick your 2? Okay, how about you 2? Did you pick your 2? You think are the most like all over the place? Do you understand what I'm asking you to do? Like, what I want you to do is, you know, like, here's one that I hope nobody says. I feel like, generally speaking, Western has very little variety. People went with ones that looked like cowboy in the Old West. You know, like, their choice makes sense. It was easy for people to interpret the style for that word. Okay? That one, yeah, I don't know that that's, but that's kind of the one outlier. All of the other ones basically make sense. Okay? But then there's some other words that, yeah, okay. Yeah, you're on the right track. Okay, you guys got it. All right, folks, let's share out some of our thoughts. Okay, so Thomas and Tavion.
Yeah.
Okay, Tavion, what was the one that you thought people were all over the place? Like every single one looks a little bit different. Okay, so I was surprised by this one. I thought that there was going to be more consistency with that word, but I agree, like, it is very different. Like I thought we were going to see more like this and this, okay? Why do you suppose I figured that?
Because that's what we're used to seeing. It's like what it's the same font as like the Letterman jacket, and I guess that's just what we
Yeah.
think of.
Yeah, exactly. Like that's what I was going with, like varsity. I figured we would see something that kind of looks like those varsity block letters or numbers that you see on jerseys, that sort of thing. But it's all over, and this one I saw in more than one spot too. It's up in that top corner.
It's also
Do you think it's because it gives a sense of movement? people, I wonder why people chose that one. So that's a word that I wasn't thinking there would be a lot of different like style interpretations on, but there were. So, all right, what's another one that folks had? Yeah.
We said edgy just because like it's really all over the place because people interpret edgy as in like horror movies and then people do it for like traditional goth, like for edgy. Like people have a lot of different, like people associate it with a whole lot of different things and there's like not one that is like super consistent.
Right, I agree with you. Like that one, everybody associated that differently. Like, absolutely. Some were like literal, like, let's pick a font that has lots of sharp edges. You know, which, like, that's okay too. It's interesting to see the way, where people's minds go. Okay, what's another one? What's another one that we definitely saw? Tyler?
Business is kind of like, I don't know. Some of them are like the second to bottom one over here, it's like the big cursive B.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know. It's just a lot more different than all the other.
Yeah, it is interesting to see how like some of them, there's just like one outlier, right? That is different from all the others. Like whatever that person had pictured in their mind was just a unique vision. So that's like sassy business. Is
They're
that
also
one?
on the top
Second
right.
from the bottom. I don't know what else to say. Which one?
The top right, it's also like cursive.
Yeah.
But then I also feel like sophisticated is like all over the place too.
There was a conversation up here about that too. Like, there were a lot of like handwritten or calligraphy or scripted styles, but then also some that are just like a very refined kind of serif.
I feel like it doesn't go in a category, so you have many options to do. So for like the fancy, you would most likely put that in cursive, but for sophisticated, you don't have like anywhere to
It
put
can
it.
just be
Right. So the reason why we do this is because let's say a client comes to you and talks about their brand and like, all right, I need you to design a logo and create a brand for my company and I want it to be sophisticated. Does that give you enough information? Okay, so what do you have to do to elicit, to draw more information from that client? Like what kind of questions would we need to ask to get more than just the word sophisticated?
Like what colors was your business about? Like what, other than sophisticated, like there are multiple different things of sophisticated. Like think of Vogue and then think of like high-end magazines and then you can think of like, I don't know, the royal family in Europe, I don't know.
Yes,
Like-
okay, I like the direction you're going with. So you gave a couple different ones. So first, like asking the client do you have any colors that make that concept come to mind? Like asking more about like what else is your company about? Are you providing a service? Are you making a product? Okay, so getting more information. But then when you gave examples, do you mean sophisticated like fashion magazine this, or do you mean like old aristocracy? You know, giving like an either or, that really helps. So providing some exemplars and asking like, do both of these fit, or is it one more than the other? Okay, because then their answer helps you go more, all right, so if we're going in this direction, almost like going to the eye doctor, right? Like, have you guys ever been to the eye? Well, I know several of you have glasses on, but like they show the lens like this one or this one. Based on your answer, then they like click it around a few more times. All right, based on that, how about these? This one or this one? And it helps you kind of narrow down what they're truly meaning. You guys with me? Okay. So What else? What else might you ask a client in order to get more information from them? Don't overthink it. If they say, my brand is modern. Lou, what were you going to say?
Like, when you think of modern, like, what do you think of? Like, what do you, like?
Yes. So ask them for more words to associate with that first word. You know, just like, okay, and that's a good question to elicit it. Okay, without making it sound like I don't know what that word means. You know, like you know what modern means, but you want a more focused vision in mind. So give me some other words that you would associate with that concept. You know, that's a great question to ask. Okay, so now you and your partner are going to check your emails because I sent you a link to a template, okay? All I'm asking you to do is choose a color palette for the company and the type styles, okay? So you're just going to use the template and you're just going to replace the colors on the one page with your new colors, and you're just going to replace the type with your new type, okay? Each partnership is going to get a choice of 2 companies, okay? So because, you know, one of them may just leave everybody with like a blank, I got nothing. So give you 2. You choose the company that you want to create the branding for. Oh, I take that back. I need you to come up with a name. You're going to have to name the company, okay? So you get the information on what does the company do or make. You get to name it, colors, type. Cool? All right, so before you go back and get yourself all situated, okay, here's your 2 to choose from. Okay, so do you guys know what to do?
Sure.
Yeah. Okay, so you don't have to do anything on that page. Whoever's watching this is going to be like, what's happening? Okay. So, yeah, go in here. Okay, so this first page, Vivian, you might want to roll out here a little bit. Okay. You guys are both good. So, okay, color ideas. That might help. Okay? Cool? Okay. What's up? You want color set? Oh, you don't know which one to pick? But that's just me. So you don't have to come up with a name first. Like, I think the easiest thing to start with is the color palette. So let me give you some
Isn't it an a place where people
extra.
like a hotel? Yeah. Isn't it same hotel? It's a boutique.
Here's, if you want
The
to
book.
look through these, okay, and then the hex code. It's just like the colors right there. Like you can type that number in and get that exact color. Okay? Are you guys already choosing? You have a handle on color?
I'll take a break.
Okay, so the hex code is on the okay, so
More personalized services.
you type that code right in and get. Yeah. Like small fancy.
Yeah, because that's
Oh, I like that. Yes. Oh, I love that. So there's a hotel, lineup hotel store, 21C, I think. And they are like merged with hotel. You know, so it can be like artists or like where you're going with that, that's all.
It would be,
I guess it's just